What's up, everybody? You are checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, the Hot Commodity and C. Of course, joined by my own personal Hot Commodity.
What up?
He's joining us as we cover WWE Monday Night Raw from April 21st, 2025, the night after WrestleMania 41. They're still live in Las Vegas, Nevada. And I will say, as we open the show, that it did give me vibes when I was little, this Raw, because the Raw after WrestleMania used to be like really packed.
Raw was war.
It was war back in the day.
It was war this week.
And it was this
pretty
week.
good.
It was. It was very good this week.
I hope SmackDown's just as good.
I know, I do. I agree. So let's kick off this episode. The new WWE Champion John Cena comes out. Now I'm a little confused. They're saying this title, is this the Universal title or is this the...
That's the Universal one that Cody won from Roman.
Okay, so here's the thing. They're saying that title, the Universal title, is gone.
Who's saying that?
Like, if you go on WWE.com, it's retired, the Universal title.
No, there's the World Heavyweight, which is Jey Uso, and then there's the WWE But maybe it's undisputed.
Well, it's undisputed now, but back in the day, it used to be the Universal title
and the WWE.
And then
now it's the World Heavyweight.
But what I'm talking about is the lineage of that title. What I'm trying to say is from what they're saying, you have to look it up.
I get what you're saying, but I don't know. Like, I think it's kind of like your own personal, like the way you look at it, because, like, for a long time there was only one belt, and then when the company like split into Raw and SmackDown, there was like two. But I think it's kind of hard to say, oh, this one ended here, and because they call it something different.
I'm gonna look on.
I mean, if that's the case, then
it says retired. Okay, it says Universal Championship 2016 to 2024. There was 5 holders. Okay, so then no, this isn't. But why do they make a big deal about it? Like, it's been gone for a while.
But this is the thing. If you really think about it that way, then Ric Flair really didn't hold the title 16 times, and John Cena didn't do it 17 times, because if you look at it that way, then there were.
Well, I think belts. That's why they're doing that, because he didn't win the Universal title, Cena. Cena's only won the WWE title. That's why it's confusing, and that's why I'm saying I think that's why because this was on Facebook the other day that they retired the Universal title, and I think that's why, because people are saying, well, I don't know.
I think that's like really getting up on a technicality, but
yeah. All right. Well, anyways, John Cena. So he's the undisputed WWE champion. He defeated Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. Cena says he comes down to the ring. He has the ring announcer read like a made up card that he gave him.
Yeah.
And he's like, please welcome the GOAT gracing Vegas for the last time, the last real WWE champion, John Cena. Cena then says, winners write history. You think on Friday you can bully me, then I step in the ring with gold, then you cheer and I'm supposed to forgive you. That's not how a functional relationship works. The fans then chant, we are sorry. Cena says, you are sorry, each and every one of you. Here's the best part. You don't mean anything to me. I may be an anus, but you are a group of idiots. I've taken your best shot and always got up. Your noise means nothing to me. The only thing that matters is 36 dates. I told you before I was working 36 dates and I'm gone. Time passes quickly. We are now down to 27. Not matches, appearances. You say I can't wrestle, I don't have to. When that hits 0, professional wrestling timeline stops cold. The WWE title ends with me. Your only hope was Cody Rhodes. The man disgusts you now. That's why he was out-wrestled and flat out destroyed. There is no one in WWE with the ruthless aggression of John Cena. I'd like to do something nice for you. Get a great pick, because this is the last real champ is here. And then out of nowhere, Randy Orton comes up from behind John Cena, lays him out with an RKO, and holds up the WWE title. And for someone who remembers growing up on the rivalry of Cena and Orton, Cena's in a lot of trouble here. because Orton has always been able to be that kryptonite to John Cena in the past. And they both have gotten for years went at it. And it makes sense. They're going to be in St. Louis for Backlash. But what did you think of this?
I think it's great, and I'm just interested to see because I like they either need to give Randy Orton an injury or something, because I don't think it's very convincing that John Cena could beat Randy Orton right now.
Okay.
Like, Randy Orton is like in the best shape of his life, and John Cena's got like a bald spot that everybody laughs at.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see. I hope Randy beats him, but I do kind of want to see John Cena play this out too. So yeah, I'm kind of in the middle of that.
I liked how you mentioned ruthless aggression too, because they both came out during that time.
Yeah, when he said that, I figured somebody old was coming, like, to fuck him up.
Next, we have the new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Becky Lynch, and her partner, the Women's Intercontinental Champion, Lyra Valkyria, taking on Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Becky returned at WrestleMania. A lot of people are now calling her Becky Hogan, because what they're saying is that she's the one who came up with Bayley being injured and her taking her spot.
Oh, really?
And Bayley, that's why Bayley did the interview where she's like, I just want to be happy. But anyways, back to the match. A lot of back and forth action to start. Liv hits a code breaker to Becky. Becky lands a manhandle slam to Liv, but Raquel Rodriguez breaks it up. Lyra hits Raquel with a tornado DDT, a Nightwing, but Liv puts Raquel's foot on the ropes. Liv hits Becky Lynch off the apron onto Raquel Rodriguez on the floor, and Liv hits Lyra with an Oblivion. And now we have new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions in Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. After the match, Becky Lynch, has Liv Morgan stand up, raises her arm, and then clotheslines Lyra, punches her to the mat, slams Lyra into the mat many times, and then lays out Lyra Valkyria with a manhandle slam 3 times. Lyra is just looking confused. The fans were doing this shit, and now we have a heel Becky Lynch.
Let me
and I'm
tell
all
you
for that.
If Lyra beats Becky, I'm done.
I want to see Becky beat her for the title.
For the Intercontinental, that would be cool.
Yep, or Becky and Bayley. See, this could be a whole storyline to get Becky and Bayley to go at it, because lately they've been bringing the behind the scenes of stuff, and maybe that's why they're talking about this. Who knows? But did you like Becky turning heel?
You know what? That makes a lot of sense, because it's not like, I feel like if Bayley really felt that way about like getting like knocked out of WrestleMania, she wouldn't be so public about it.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of people are like, people outside of WWE are talking
Baron
shit.
Corbin released something today. It was just on WrestleMania.
Who knows?
It would make a really good storyline that.
And Bayley could be, her thing too could be like, you fucked me over out of my spot at Mania, and then you attack my friend.
But the other thing is, we don't know why Bayley missed it yet.
We do, because she got beat up on the pre-show WrestleMania 41. They
had
her.
Who?
We don't know. She was just injured backstage. They thought it was Liv and Raquel.
Right.
So maybe it was Becky.
Right.
And that will bring it full circle.
Which it has to be, because they can't be like, oh, Becky came up with the idea.
But here's the other thing that's dumb. They did the same thing when Becky and Trish had their thing. Remember, Becky and Trish were the women's champions. Lita got injured.
They just did this with Jade Cargill. They really need to come up with a better story. It's not like Bayley was knocked out and didn't know what was going on. She knows who attacked her. Like, come on. How many times are you going to do that story?
Well, we'll see. Next, we have the new World Tag Team Champions, the New Day, come out. Xavier Woods says, thank God for the New Day.
He says, thank God.
Thank God. Kofi says, there is no team alive or dead better than the New Day, and that's when the Alpha Academy come out. Maxine Dupree says, last time you fought Alpha Academy, they beat you in 60 seconds. We would love to see you put those titles on the line tonight. Xavier Woods says, no. And then Maxine says, are the Minutemen scared? Kofi says, you want to do it now? Let's do it. And before the match can start, Rusev returns. He's back from AEW. New Day run away from Rusev while Rusev attacks Alpha Academy. Rusev hits a fallaway slam to Akira Tozawa, and then kicks Otis twice in the face and applies an accolade to Otis. What do you think of the return of Rusev? Rusev Day.
To be honest, I never saw anything with Rusev. Like a little bit, like here and there, but when I watched, he was on.
Rusev is good. He's a beast. He's good at what he does. I like to see him and Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
But I was excited.
I know he had the whole Rusev Day thing.
Yeah. Lana, yeah. Rusev's good. You'll see some good stuff from him.
Hopefully we'll see her back too.
Yeah, she signed a Legends contract, so maybe. Judgment Day are talking backstage. Dom says this was the best weekend of my life, and then Finn Balor shows up and lives like, Finn, isn't it good that someone from Judgment Day walked away with a title? And Finn says, yeah, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So remember, Dominik was one to pin Finn Balor to win the title. So next, the WWE Women. What is she? The World Women's Champion? Yeah, the World Women's Champion. Io Sky comes out. Io says, last night was the best night of my career. I am over the moon because I beat the best women in WWE. All of you will never forget me because I am the genius of the sky and I am the women's world champion. And then NXT Women's Champion Stephanie Vaquer comes out. Stephanie says, Io, congratulations. I am the NXT Women's Champion. I want to show you respect. Io, you're amazing. You are the best. And I want to fight with the best. And then she challenges Io to a match. Io accepts. And go ahead. No, you go ahead.
We forgot to say that when the women's tag team happened, there was an NXT tag team there. And I guess they're going to be taking on
Raquel.
Yeah. I don't know who it was.
I think it's going to be like NXT or something. I think it was Tatum Paxley and Gigi.
There's no chance they're going to win.
No. Well, thank you for remembering that. So Stephanie Vaquer and Io Sky, they had a really good. Or no, I keep calling her Vaquer. Stephanie Vaquer. I have to work on my Spanish. Stephanie lands a crossbody off the railing onto Io on the floor. Io lands a missile dropkick and lands double knees in the corner of Stephanie. Io lands a backbreaker for a 2 count. Io then lands a really cool super Spanish fly. And then Roxanne Perez comes out and attacks Io Sky while Giulia attacks Stephanie Vaquer. Rhea Ripley runs out and makes the save. Giulia and Rhea have a little stare down. And then Rhea hands the title over to Io Sky and tells her, I'm coming for it. So a lot of stuff happening here. I do want to mention, too, that and I don't really like Dave Meltzer because he usually shits on anything that's not really like Japanese related. But he gave the first time ever women's 5-star match at WrestleMania between Io.
Why he only likes Japanese or doesn't?
He usually is very critical on WWE. Like he likes a lot of the Joshi, like the Jap. Like he'll give like Okada and Omega from New Japan Pro Wrestling like 6.5 stars, literally. And like he just doesn't appreciate I mean, I'm sure he does appreciate it, but he's also been critical of Vince. Like he was one of the people who was during the steroid trials, who was out on the Donahue show. Remember during Dark Side?
Yeah.
But anyways, I thought it was important to mention that. So they kind of got their flowers. But what do you think of the NXT girls coming out and then?
I thought Ripley? It was great. I would really like to see Giulia and
Roxanne.
And I want to see Giulia and Rhea Ripley.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good, dude. Or Giulia and Asuka, or Giulia and Io.
Or the two of them against maybe Io and
Rhea. That'd be good. Yeah, it was exciting to see the.
Also, I saw today Kairi Sane was at WrestleMania 41, and she's cleared to come back.
Ooh, Kairi, maybe she'll be on SmackDown. The new WWE World Heavyweight Champion Jey Uso comes out to a promo video. He comes out to the crowd. Jay says, the champion is now in your city. Yeet. I'm here now. I've been wanting it since I was a kid. It was a long, hard road. WrestleMania, I gave it all I had to beat Gunther, and I made him tap. I'm so happy I finally got this, so I'm going to put the work in to keep it. And that's when Sami Zayn comes out. They hug each other. Sami says, I got so happy to see you win, and everyone knows you deserve it. We are here to celebrate, so hit the music. They dance, and then there's a moment. The whole thing
was kind of fishy.
Yeah, there's a moment where Jay is up on the turnbuckle. Sammy's staring at him. We're all like, he's going to do something, but he doesn't. Then Jimmy Uso comes out. They hug, and I'm like, oh, something's going to happen. But nothing happened. They just celebrated with Jay.
Yeah, it was definitely a good teaser.
Who do you think is going to turn first? You think it's going to be Sami or you think it's going to be Jimmy? Probably Sami.
I think Jimmy will maybe be the SummerSlam match.
Okay.
I think that because that's going to be a big thing.
Yeah, I think it'll be 2 nights too. So, okay. AJ Styles gets interviewed backstage. AJ says Logan Paul plays his games, but I'm taking that L. And then Karrion Kross and Scarlett confront AJ. Kross says you legitimized Logan Paul last night. AJ says, had I hit Logan Paul with the brass knuckles, it would have meant nothing. Go solve your problem yourself. And Kross says, I think I will. So we're probably going to see Kross and AJ some more. Maybe we'll get Kross doing his own thing, but that's
unless AJ gives in eventually.
Maybe. But I feel like that was the end of the AJ Logan Paul storyline with that little interview back there. Gunther then comes out. We see him screaming at Michael Cole and Pat McAfee. He grabs Michael Cole and he's like, tell me to my face that I tapped out. He pushes McAfee and then puts Michael Cole in a sleeper. And then Pat pushes Gunther off of Cole. And then Gunther ends up putting Pat McAfee in a sleeper. Pat passes out. And Adam Pearce announced that Gunther is suspended indefinitely and got fined. So what did you think of this? Do you think Pat McAfee and Gunther are going to fight?
I don't know, but I would like to see it. I've only seen, like, the WrestleMania match with Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
So I would definitely like to see it. Do I think Pat McAfee would stand a chance of winning? No. But it would be fun, though, for sure. I like Pat McAfee a lot. He's cool.
I do, too.
And, that's the new commercial with Becky.
Yeah, you were telling me about that earlier, Becky Lynch.
With the chime commercial.
Pat McAfee did fight in NXT a couple of matches, so if you ever want to watch, he fought like Adam Cole. He was in War Games. All right, so interesting stuff here for Gunther now. Next, we have the new Intercontinental Champion, Dominik Mysterio, with Carlito and Finn Balor in his corner, defending against Penta. Dominik hits a sit-out powerbomb for a 2 count, and then lands a tornado DDT. Penta hits a Super Hurricane Rana and a Mexican Destroyer. And then Penta Hurricane Rana's Finn Balor into Dominik Mysterio on the floor. And then Penta goes to the top rope. But JD McDonough returns and pushes Penta off the top, allowing Dom to land a 619 and a frog splash. The Judgment Day is back in full force. Finn didn't really look too happy at first, but then he was like, all right, what do you think of JD coming back? And I still think this is the end of the Judgment Day.
Yeah. I'm wondering if maybe JD might even go after him. I don't know.
He could.
You know, because he just came back. Yeah, he helped him win that one to make it look good, but we'll see.
Well, our final segment, we have Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman. They come out to the ring. Seth says, I am a revolutionary, a visionary. I took a wise man from Roman Reigns, and I stole CM Punk's best friend. I am the winner of the main event of WrestleMania. I am. And then CM Punk runs down to the ring, and they start to brawl. Punk stops Seth Rollins, and then grabs Paul Heyman. Seth rakes Punk's eyes and lands a stomp. Paul says, we are going to conclude the weekend of WrestleMania 41 by propelling the news to WrestleMania 42. There is a new reigning #1 top star in this entire industry. Ladies and gents, Seth freaking Rollins. And then Roman Reigns comes out. He spears Seth. Roman hits a Superman punch to Paul. And then someone in a hoodie comes out and spears the shit out of Roman and CM Punk. It's revealed to be former Intercontinental Champion Bron Breakker. He hugs Seth Rollins. And then Braun spears Roman Reigns through the guard railing on the floor. Seth stomps both Reigns and Punk, and Rollins, Breakker, and Paul Heyman stand together to end Raw. This is a new team here. What do you think?
I thought this was awesome. I thought Seth definitely needed this because, like I said before, it kind of felt like he was like the third wheel of the WrestleMania match. It was more like Punk and Roman.
Yeah.
And Roman doesn't need Paul Heyman. You know, like Seth needs something right now. So this was really cool, and I think it's going to be really good with Bron Breakker. It kind of reminds me of him and Brock Lesnar, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's going to be really good.
This is going to be a cool stable.
And now that Bron Breakker's not the Intercontinental Champion anymore, you know, he might be trying for bigger things.
Good. What was your favorite moment of the night? There's a lot of surprises here and a lot of good stuff.
I liked Bron Breakker and Seth.
That was your favorite? Okay. I like that too. I liked all the people coming back. I liked all of the surprises.
And I'm also hopeful that Becky is going to join this alliance.
She could. The Dangerous Alliance 2.0.
That's what everybody keeps saying. It's like the Dangerous Alliance. Who was the Dangerous Alliance?
It was like Stone Cold, Rick Rude. Paul Heyman was the leader of it because his name used to be Paulie Dangerously. That's why it was the Dangerous Alliance. Okay. It was a WCW thing. But we've covered all of Monday Night Raw. Friday Night SmackDown is taking place in a couple of minutes, so we'll be giving you a recap of that probably tomorrow or Sunday. We've got the Attitude Year still rolling along. We're on the road to SummerSlam. We also got Backlash in St. Louis, Missouri happening in May. A lot of stuff coming your way. So until next time, stay safe and stay uncensored.